Tonight, we have part 3 of our global series on the migration crisis, affecting millions of people. Following our reports from Latin America and Africa, next, we take you to Asia, to the world's largest refugee camp in Bangladesh. Almost 1 million Rohingya Muslims live in refugee camps there after being violently driven from their homes in neighboring Myanmar. Last year, a record number of them died at sea trying to reach safer shores in Southeast Asia. But as our Britt Clennett finds out, their new homes are far from welcoming.
Some 4,000 miles from the scorching desert in Libya is the Andaman Sea. Hundreds of thousands of Rohingya Muslims have turned to these waters to escape the world's largest refugee camps in Bangladesh. Cox's Bazar is home to more than 1 million Rohingya. They've escaped what many have called a genocide in neighbouring Myanmar in 2017. But Bangladesh has not been a safe haven. These men asked for their identities to be concealed for fear of retaliation.
আমি কাউকে জানা নাই আমি তখন কোনো হইয়ান এ ব্যাপারে এখন হইলে আল্লাহ আতকা এডরে যে আই খবা খয়রগান খওয়ারগান আর দায়িত্ব তো আমি কোন করে বুঝা হরি
According to the UN, the number of Rohingya fleeing Myanmar or Bangladesh increased 5-fold in just 1 year. Over the past year, nearly 4,500 made this deadly journey, with more than 560 dying at sea, the most in nearly a decade. This is where we met Noor Sadak in 2020, before he embarked on his own journey to seek asylum. He was just 15 when he fled Myanmar with his parents and brothers.
I'm a Rohingya child. I don't want to see them crying with hunger. I don't want to see them crying for education. I'm crying for education. I see hopes, but I cannot believe this world.
Back then, Noor said he dreamed of returning home to his village that was burned down by the Myanmar military, despite the violence he witnessed.
When I sleep, my pillow becomes wet with tears.
Noor said life in the Bangladesh camps was becoming unbearable.
Is it life or hell? This is not life.
Illnesses like dengue, scabies and waterborne diseases are rampant because of poor sanitation. In some areas, more than 200 people are sharing a single bathroom.
The more the situation is deteriorating, the harder the situation for the mental health of the Rohingya. So they are suffering of anxiety, depression, lack of services.
But the most urgent threats come from armed gangs. They claim to be Rohingya freedom fighters, but are essentially leading a kidnap for ransom racket. Those who can't pay are killed. To escape, thousands here are turning to another criminal network, one that promises to smuggle them across the sea to safety. A smuggler tells us he regularly traffics refugees out of Bangladesh to Malaysia.
Father Shilde, a Edesor, Shinkor, by Iba. Tarletra and the farmer forest of Niravodi, ওই সিংহ মানুষদের ডাইরেক্ট পুলিশের গাড়ি আর কি করে দিয়ে নিরাপদ করে পৌঁছা দিয়ে আর সিবত তুলে দিবার সময় দিয়ে পুলিশের গাড়ি করে যাকাম দিয়ে
But the path to potential freedom is treacherous.
হাজার হাজার মানুষ আর কি মরে গিয়ে কে টাইম তাইয়ে কে হল্লা তাইয়ে কে ফার যাওয়া গিয়ে নেলানে পারে
The migrants have two main routes to escape the dangerous camps of Cox's Bazar. The first, a journey by boat, open only in autumn when the Andaman Sea is calm. The risk of capsizing, getting captured or getting lost runs high. The other, a harrowing land journey, a daring trek, crossing back into a hostile Myanmar through Thailand with hopes of finding their way to Malaysia.
There are more than 100,000 Rohingya refugees here. That's according to the UN, but the number is probably a lot higher than that. And that number, it's growing.
We travelled to the Thai-Malaysia border along the Sungai Golok River, the last leg of the journey for Rohingya migrants.
Here's first sight of it, and the notorious river crossing. This is Sungai Golok. You can see how narrow it is. It doesn't take much to get from Thailand to Malaysia, and you can see just how easy it is. This here is known as the route of the rats because it's unofficial. It's where the people movers go across, where all the unofficial trade happens, because it usually happens at night in the shadows.
But only some Rohingya migrants make it this far.
1 month, 15 days.
So it took 1.5 months to go from Bangladesh to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Hashim Allah made this exact trek a few months ago. He describes his hellish journey and violent abuse he faced from the smugglers he had paid to help him. But he says it was the women who suffered the most.
Agents raped her.
Agents raped the girl.
That's from the agent, the smuggler.
I said, the agent, please don't do this. She is my sister. Please.
So he said, don't say anything, and then he stabbed you.
Yeah.
Because you spoke out, because those girls were getting raped.
He shows us a glimpse of his experience. These photos are rare. Cell phones are normally banned by smugglers.
The agent cut her face.
These show him smiling and posing for the camera.
A smile?
They asked you to smile after all that.
It's a rouse. At the end of it all, he was forced to take part in this propaganda, which is then used to lure others in Bangladesh to make the same journey.
And then the cycle continues.
Hashim made it through alive, but others have been less fortunate. In 2015, almost 140 graves of Rohingya Muslims were discovered along this very border. But for those who live to make it to the other side, no longer bound by fences of the camps, the trip comes at the expense of leaving so much behind. But Malaysia is not a signatory to the UN Convention of Refugees, the country denying the entire Rohingya population any legal status. Here, it's virtually impossible for migrants to find meaningful work to build a life. Even more hardships await.
Is how our homes area looks like.
It is here, in the shadows of Kuala Lumpur's skyscrapers, we meet Nur Sadak once again.
I just wish to own the things I've lost.
The man we met in the camps in Bangladesh 4 years ago.
My dad said, son, I have lost everything in my life in Myanmar. No, I'm losing you. Yeah.
In 2022, Nur took the same journey as Hashim. He made it here to Malaysia, the Muslim-majority country that is currently home to at least 100,000 Rohingya refugees.
How dangerous, how violent did it become for you in Bangladesh?
If I would be in the camp, I would have died. I had no other option.
Have you seen much of Malaysia since you got here?
No, really.
None of this belongs to you, that's how you feel?
I feel like I have nothing in this world. It is beautiful. It's so beautiful place, and it's only for Malaysian.
What happens when you say you are a Rohingya?
Why did you come here to snatch my jobs? I thought the people and the country would appreciate me for surviving in this situation.
He's only now 21, but those 4 years have felt like a lifetime. Noah constantly fears detention and deportation if questioned by authorities. But he remains vocal about the dangers in the camps. He shows us these threats he received from the gangs back in Bangladesh.
How cruel the world is. I can't believe, really. I feel so ashamed of this world.
While he may have arrived to his destination, he still feels the shackles of being stateless.
What is your identity here?
A refugee who is not allowed to work, to educate, to think of dreams. That's my identity.
Our thanks to Britt Clennon and her team. We have more stories on migrants from other corners of the world in our ABC News Live special, Exodus, Global Migration, streaming on ABC News Live and on Hulu tomorrow. Still much more to get to on this Friday. Coming up, why this particular letter, mailed with just a 1-penny stamp, may now be worth millions of dollars. But next, what current American spending on eating out and apparel tells us about the state of the economy. By the numbers.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.